What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Magic Mitch, the food adventurer, bringing you another food challenge video. And in this one, I'm taking on a burger and poutine challenge inside the Kingdom of Canada. And before I get started, if this is your first time to the channel and you're interested in seeing videos where I battle all kinds of food monstrosities, just like this one, then be sure to hit that subscribe button below, as well as the bell notification next to it, so you never miss a video. So the challenge I'm taking on here is known as the Crazy Scary Burger Challenge at Moe's Family Restaurant in Oakville, Ontario of Canada. And for this challenge, you have 45 minutes to finish the meal, which consists of a burger made with 3 giant patties, some cheese, mushrooms, bacon, and some onion rings on top. Along with that burger is also a nice side order of poutine. Then there's also a soda requirement for this challenge, but as many of you already know, that's not going to be an issue here because I typically have Diet Coke or Diet Pepsi with my challenges anyway. And if you're able to complete the challenge, you get your $25 Canadian meal for free and your picture up on their wall of fame. Something I haven't mentioned yet about this challenge is that time starts as soon as the food is brought out, which is something you'll see with food challenges from time to time, and I never fully quite understood it because for the restaurant, you would think that this is a liability of sorts if someone were to burn themselves attempting the challenge because they felt rushed, knowing that time started right away and didn't take time to let the food properly cool down, which actually did happen to me in this case, but it was very minor. Now, interestingly enough, there's also a giant breakfast challenge here as well, but with that one, you have a time limit of something like 1.5 to 2 hours, which is a lot different in that case, because you can take much more time letting the food cool off and still have plenty of time to work with to eat the challenge. And if you have any thoughts on this, I would love to hear about them in the comments below. So since time started right away with this challenge, the first thing I wanted to do is see if I could actually buy myself some time to let the food cool down, which I was able to do by taking pictures and filming the challenge and such, but really, it was only a few minutes and the food was still very hot when I started, which is why I burned my mouth a little bit, but like I said, it wasn't anything too serious. As far as the actual eating goes, I wanted to make sure I took down that burger first, or at least the burger patties before they got cold and just super gross to eat. Then I'd move on to the poutine, which I figured would be easier to eat since the gravy would be softening everything up. For my thoughts on this burger and poutine food challenge, I'm rating this one a 3.5 out of 5 for the setup. I like that it's a little different with that side of poutine, which I thought made things a little more interesting, and it's definitely fitting for a challenge in Canada. And although it's not quite the gold standard, getting the free meal and your picture up on their wall of fame is still a pretty sweet deal. The one thing I didn't like about this challenge, as mentioned before, was the fact that time starts as soon as they bring the food out. As for the taste, I'm giving this one a 2.5 out of 5 because, well, it was okay. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't great either. The burger patties were a bit dried out and bland, but using some of the fresh toppings did make it more enjoyable. And as for the poutine, if I had to be honest, I really didn't care for it. Now, part of that is because I typically don't enjoy brown gravy, but also, by the time I got to the poutine, it had already cooled off much more than I anticipated. So it already thickened and solidified, which not only made it less enjoyable to eat, but also it went down like sludge, which is never a great way to describe the food, but that's just the best and honest way I can put it. But regardless, I still enjoyed my time here in the area. I had the pleasure of meeting some great fans, and this was also the same day I met another food adventurer, Ken Domick, as I was part of a food review on his channel, which sounds like a terrible idea after doing a food challenge, which in my case, it absolutely was. No, don't get me wrong, it was worth the experience, but I felt like complete garbage after. And if you want to see that video, I'll leave a link in the description below. And also, if you're enjoying your time watching this video, then be sure to leave a little magic of your own by liking this video and sharing it with your friends. And if you're new to the channel and want to see more food challenge videos like this one, then make sure to subscribe. Until my next food adventure, this is Magic Mitch. Take care and have a great day.
Amen.